Hello, welcome back to the channel. A little box arrived today. Well, not today, arrived this week. I have not opened it, I've unzipped it. So this is the new kit that is coming in. Let's just bring that all out, get rid of it. So this is the new kit. So this is the card of the month, because I had the I just want to turn it. I was going to turn it over. No, I won't turn it over. I had the classic kit, and so this has been upgraded onto the card kit. So this is a studio kit subscription. So, nice little tissue paper. Lots of ink. Lots of ink. So these are core inks. So we've got dusty blue, Stonewash, Amethyst, Peony, we're going to call it Peony, let's go with that, and Pitch Black. So they are, I love these are super. My blues are my favourites. I'm a blue chick, not that you sort of noticed, but it's a blue chick. Okay, let's go to the back of this. Ooh. I figured we'll start at the back, because then, you know, that is funkier. On the camera it looks really cool. So there's 2 sheets of that holographic cardstock. There is 2 sheets of the black, 2 sheets of the glitter, and 2 sheets of like pretty much a matte silver. It's not super glossy, but a matte silver. Then we have these. Can I move it down? Do you have a little? No. These, I'm assuming are rub-ons. Yes. So peel and stick. So these are very cool. I can't believe rub-ons are coming back in. It's like, can you believe it? Rub-ons are back. Okay, so my phone rang. Let's just put that on silent because I forgot. There we go. Alright, so there's 2 sheets in this. They're rather a bit cool, a little bit funky. I don't know. There might be, you know, you could chop it up or take little sections of it for a little bit of multi-mixed media type of a thing. I can't believe they're coming back in. So this is the stamp set that we got. I got it around the wrong way. So from what I've seen, it's, you know, you've got your sky and your little animals, including a squirrel. Now, can we see that? Let's put that on the back of it. It doesn't sort of go the same size. I do love myself some squirrels. Like, they're so cute, especially coming from people like me who are Australian. If you haven't been able to tell by my accent, we don't have squirrels. So that would be really fun. So thank you, greetings, happy birthday, hello, sending love, friend, lots of fun little bits and pieces. Now there is 2 stencils here. Why do I have 2 stencils? And so this has also got the negative, the positive, that's the word, the positive of the stencil for the little cityscape. So I really like that, that's cool. The next one we've got here is a greetings. So we've got a little street scene, drop by any time, a little sun, some birds, a little tiny good little images. Like, you can get a lot of lawn fawn and everything else that has all those little images. Let's just zoom in a little bit here. But I like the sizing of these. I actually think they're a tiny bit smaller. But I like that because, you know, they fit into the little scenery that you can do. City lights, starry nights, and endless sights. Come visit sometime. Streets of possibilities. Hello neighbour, welcome to the hustle and bustle, to the neighbourhood, to our home. Wish you were here. I'm just a phone call away. My door is always open. Drop by any time. Hope to see you soon and see you around. I think that's a really nice little cool thing. And then we've got the coordinating dies for this one. So we've got the telegraph pole, we've got the birds, around that way. The birds on the wire. And so you've got birds on the wire there. So if you stamped that on him, that will all cut that out altogether. And then you've got another one for the individual little birds that you could die cut and put around your image. You've also got the 3 other birds, the squirrel, and lots of little sentiments, and the telegraph pole. That's what we call it here. What do you call it? What do you call it in America? What do you call it in England? Wherever you happen to be. Are they just telegraph poles? Are they the same? Let me know. So that is it says New Hero Studio Kit, but this is the new card. So this is sort of, if I continue with the subscription, this is basically what I'm going to get. So, you know, I mean, they're going to change obviously, but I'm assuming cardstock, some inks, a couple of stamp sets, maybe a stencil, who knows, because it's always going to vary, isn't it? But anyway, I'm going to have a think. I'm going to have a think and sort of get back and sort of see what I can do. I'll talk soon. Bye. Okay, so card number 1. So I've swatched out the colours that came with the kit. I think they're pretty much, I don't know too much about Hero Arts colours. I'm learning, but I think the core are dye-based inks. And then you've got the reactive ones, so they're probably not the same, but along the lines of like distress oxides. They seem to have that texture where they're going to react with water. I have some circle dies. These are stitched circle dies, and I've die cut those a couple of times to give myself like a circle in the bottom panel and also a bit of a frame that's going to go around the edge. This back piece I've trimmed up to be a tiny little bit bigger than the circle, and I'm just making sure and just erasing those inner lines there. I'm going to use the amethyst, the stone wash and dusty blue. I think I'm going to put it on the screen in a little bit. I am just making sure that my ink is going to be below those lines. So I'm using those as a guide. It's going to look like a bit of a hot mess. I'm going to tell you that straight now. But I'm also not too worried about that, because what this is going to be is a bit of a sky background. So skies aren't always uniform. That's my theory behind it all. Just going through back and forth, back and forth. As I said, it looks terrible. Let's just say it looks terrible. I don't organize myself in the sense of what I'm going to be doing. So sometimes these videos, they may seem a little bit unorganized, but that's because I am in this regard. I like to sit down and just do it. Sometimes I may have a rough idea of what I'm doing, but I just like to sit down and do it. I'm using a little Simon Says stamp holder. You American peeps will know all about that. I did get this while I was overseas a year ago now. Oh my goodness. This is a number 10 gel pen, Jelly Roll pen. What I'm doing is just, as you can see there, a lot of squiggles. Sort of leaving it, well, it's varying on what I'm doing. Some of it I'm just leaving it there, like right at the beginning. Some of them I'm letting it dry for half a second, and then running my finger over it to smush it down. I can see this in real life. It's harder to see on the video at the end of it. I have die cut my little birds on the wire, and I'm just trying to figure out how to put it all together. You can sort of see my fingers going there, and it's like, what am I going to do here? I have die cut it out. I've got a sticky mat in my MISTI. I've replaced the positive of my die cut, and now we're going to stamp using that as a guide. I've got the black ink And I'm gonna stamp that account down a couple of times. I don't think you see it, but I did do it because it is a brand new stamp. Oh, there you go. You do see it. It is a brand new stamp. I have rubbed my fingers over it. I just do that to condition it. You can get other things. You can get normal erasers. There is a company that does one particularly for stamps, but I can't remember what on earth it is. And this, now I've got my bird wire and I'm just trying to figure out and try and make him as straight as I can. It's never going to be perfect because it's a very thin little stamp, but we're going to do our best. And it works out well, if I do say so myself. So he's all done. So you can sort of see my sky there. As I said, you can see it better in real life. I will tell you that. Raise this whole panel up with foam. You don't need to see all that. I'm going to do a little bit of surgery on my die cut. And this is going to make it that I can bring it down just that little bit lower. And the birds, it almost looks like the birds are sitting at the bottom of the circle. The two birds by themselves are going to be flat, but these ones are going to be raised up a little bit. For my sentiment, I'm just going to use the Sending Love. There's lots of really cool little sentiments in this pack, but I just try and think about the design and think about, usually my cards aren't made for a particular person at the time of making the video. Usually, 99% of the time. So I tend to just try and make a pretty generic little card. Remove all my little foam. So you can see that the Sending Love. I will have to, even though the base card that's got the blue ink on it is a little bit smaller than my circle panel, I'm still going to have to trim it down a tiny little bit more. You don't see much of the blue. I probably should have done a little bit higher, but I'm quite happy the way it turned out because in the real card it actually has that little hint of purple on there. Remove all my backing as I trim up the tiny little bit, and it doesn't really cause too much grief whatsoever to the card panel. The last couple of things we've got is we're going to put that frame onto the panel, and lucky last is going to be some stickles. Obviously, once I put it onto the card base, I've got a little bit of stickles. I just thought it needed just a little something, so we've just got a couple of dots around the frame, and that is it. So card number 1. The next card is super simple. I'm going to use that stencil once I figured out what positives go where. It is going to, I'm just trying to figure out how to say this clearly. So there is going to be a little bit of an outline. So we're going to put the windows in with the black ink. Okay. There is going to be a little bit of an outline around the buildings, but that's good. It's all good because what it actually does is it sort of gives it a little bit of a shadow look. This card is really quite quick and simple. Wipe all those off, trying not to get it on my card base because, I should have masked that a bit more, but that's what you get in my cards. I do these things and then think about, I should have done that later. So this is where I'm sort of go, I really need to mask the whole dung lot, This, leave it to dry for a little bit longer. It's going to smudge if you do it too soon because it's a pretty quick drying ink, but it's still needs to have a little bit of dry time. I'm going in with my amethyst, my stone wash, and my dusty blue, the same colors as I had in the last card. this way. They just sort of, honestly, they photograph nicely. I don't do it all the time, but they do photograph nicely if there's sort of some uniformity through the card. While I do that, what's been happening? Lots have been happening. Lots have been happening. Nothing terribly exciting things, just with I've got 2 boys that are on the spectrum. One of them is a little bit more on the spectrum, shall we say. And we're having problems with the funding from the government with him, but we roll with the flow. Is that the wording? We go with the flow, whatever it is. My middle son, Jay, he has another tattoo. I don't know what I told you. He got a tattoo. His mother thinks he's an idiot, but, I love him. And he's an adult, so, I appreciate the colour. I appreciate the art and the designs and the skill that has to. Tattoos are not for me. And if you have a tattoo, awesome. I love them. I think they're beautiful. They can be beautiful. I'm just not someone that's going to have a tattoo. But he is an adult and it was done well. I will say that. It was done well. Not much else is really happening. I've got a son that's doing year 12, so that's in the flow of it. There's no there's no exams just yet, but and everyone is cool. We're thinking about selling our house. That's a big thing. Moving locally, but it's a little bit exciting, a little bit scary, a little bit, oh, my boys grew up here. But it's all good. It's all good. Let's get back to this card because you don't need to hear all that sort of stuff. I have the hope to see you soon. There was a really cool little one that was, I can't think of the name. There was a couple of cool ones actually. City Lights, Starry Nights, and Endless Sights. But I thought that could be a bit limiting on who I gave it to. I'm Just a Phone Call Away was the next favourite. But then I've got the Hope to See You Soon, which just sort of fitted in quite nicely. The last thing I've got is a couple little sequins. That's going to be my card. It's almost like there's stars in the sky. I'm just saying. So that is going to be my card for today. I hope you're well. If you liked this card, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. It really helps my little channel because I'm just small. And I hope you're well. Take care and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.